Hi Year 10. Today we're continuing on with equations and we're looking at equations involving algebraic fractions. So to solve equations involving algebraic fractions, we have to remove the fraction by multiplying both sides of the equation by the denominator of the fraction. So for example 1, we're finding the value of the pronumerals in each of the following equations. We have 9m over 3 equals 12. What we want to do here is we want to get rid of the divided by 3 by multiplying both sides of our equation by 3. When we do so, we're left with 9m equals 12 times 3, which is 36. We then want to divide both sides of our equation by the 9 so that we're left with the m by itself. So we'll have m equals 36 divided by 9, which is 4. For example B, we have 5m minus 6 all divided by 3 equals 8. So our first step is to get rid of the denominator by multiplying both sides of our equation by 3 so that we're left with 5m minus 6 equals 8 times 3, which is 24. We then want to add the 6 to both sides of our equation because we want to do the opposite of subtract 6. When we do that, we're left with 5m equals 30. Then, in order to get rid of our 5, we want to divide both sides by 5 so that we're left with our m equals 6. Now, we should have checked both of these answers to be correct, so let's substitute them in. So we'll have 9 times our m value of 4 for our first one over 3 should equal 12. So let's put that into our calculator. Hit your fraction button and go 9 times 4. Go down to your denominator of 3 equals, and we get 12. So that means that we're correct. Then for B, we want to check. So it's 5 times our m value of 6 minus our 6 over 3 equals 8. So again, hit your fraction button on your calculator. Go 5 times 6 minus 6. Go down to your denominator, put in the 3 equals, and we get 8. So that means that we are correct. When there is more than one fraction, however, we have to combine the fractions together first. Remember, we can only add or subtract fractions that have the same denominator. So for example 2, we want to solve the following equations. So for 2a, we have x on 5 plus x on 5 equals 20. Now, our denominator here are the same of 5. So what we can do is we can combine our fraction by adding our numerators together all over our denominator of 5 and say that it equals our right-hand side of 20. So x plus x is 2x over 5 equals 20. Now, in order to get rid of our denominator of 5, we need to multiply both sides by 5. And when we do that, we'll get 2x equals 5 times 20, which is 100. We then want to divide both sides by 2. And when we do that, we get x equals 50. We want to check this. So we want to go 50 over 5 plus 50 over 5 equals 20. So in your calculator, 50 over 5 plus 50 over 5 does in fact equal 20. So 20 equals 20, so we are correct. For example B, we do not have the same denominators at the moment, they are different. So you should remember back to when we did addition and subtraction of algebraic fractions that we want to multiply the first fraction by the opposite denominator of 4 and the second fraction by the opposite denominator of 5. So when we do this, we will have 4 times our 3x over our 4 times 5 minus our 5 times our x over our 5 times our 4 equals our right-hand side of 1. Now, 4 times 3x is 12x over 4 times 5 is 20 minus 5 times x is 5x over 5 times 4, which is also 20, equals 1. So what we have is we now have the exact same denominator of 20, so we can subtract our numerators. So we'll have 12x minus 5x all over 20 equals 1. So this is where we have 12x minus 5x is 7x over 20 equals 1. So what we need to do now is to remove our denominator of 20. We need to multiply both sides by 20. When we do that, we're left with 7x equals 20. We then want to divide both sides by 7 so that we're left with x equals, and we can leave it as an improper fraction of 20 on 7. For C, we have m plus 2 over 3 equals m minus 4 over 5. What we want to do here is we want to cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply this opposite fraction by 3, and I'm also going to multiply this opposite fraction by 5. When I do that, my denominators, because they have been multiplied to the opposite side of the equal sign, are going to disappear. So that means I'm going to have 5 times my numerator of m plus 2 equals 3 times my numerator on my right hand side of m minus 4. So we have to expand our brackets here, and when we do that, we'll have 5 times m plus 5 times 2 equals 3 times m plus 3 times minus 4, like so. Okay, and our denominators have completely gone. So then 5 times m is 5m plus 5 times 2 is 10 equals 3 times m is 3m plus 3 times negative 4 is actually negative 12. We now want all of our letters on the left-hand side of our equation, all of our pronumerals. So we're going to minus the 3m so that all of our letters or pronumerals are on the left-hand side of our equation. So we have 2m plus 10 equals negative 12. We then want to subtract our 10 from both sides of our equation. So we're left with 2m equals negative 22. And then we want to divide both sides of our equation by 2. So we're left with m equals, whoa, what happened there? M equals negative 22 divided by 2 is negative 11. Finally, our last example, yes, is a plus 2 over 3 minus the numerator of a minus 5 over 4 equals 6. So what we want to do is, because our fractions are on the left-hand side of our equal sign, we want to combine them together. So we're going to multiply this first fraction by the opposite denominator of 4 and this second fraction by the opposite denominator of 3. So we will have 4 times, in brackets, our a plus 2 over 4 times our denominator of 3 minus our 3 times our numerator of a minus 5 over 3 times our denominator of 4 equals 6. So this is 4 times a plus 4 times 2 over 4 times 3 is 12 minus 3 times a plus 3 times negative 5 over our denominator of 3 times 4, which is 12, equals 6. So we'll have 4 times a is 4a plus 4 times 2 is 8 over 12 minus 3 times a is 3a plus 3 times negative 5 is negative 15 all over 12 equals 6. Now that we have the same denominator, we can combine our fraction. So we will have 4a plus 8 minus bracket our 3a minus 15 all over 12 equals 6. So what happens here is this is an imaginary minus 1 that's out the front of our bracket. So this will make this term negative and it will change the it will swap the signs of both the terms in the brackets, sorry. So we'll have 4a plus 8 minus 3a plus 15 all over 12 equals 6. I have run out of room, so I'm just going to go up here. So now we have to look at like terms. So we have 4a minus 3a, which is just a. We then have plus 8 plus 15. So 8 plus 15 is 23. So plus 23 all over 12 equals 6. We want to then remove our denominator of 12 by multiplying both sides by 12. So we're left with a plus 23 equals 6 times 12, which is 72. And then we want to remove our positive 23 by minusing it to both sides. So we get a equals 72 minus 23, which equals 49. What I'd like you to do now, once you have this all copied down, is complete exercise 106, question 4 all, question 5 all on pages